Hi, it's Richard here again at the watch bench on a lovely day here in Pembrokeshire in Wales in the United Kingdom, and in front of me I have a lovely pocket watch that I have recently done a full restoration of, which I think looks particularly nice in the sunshine here this morning. And the purpose of this video is to focus now, having done the restoration on it, on the user handling and operation of this watch. So when I give it back to the owner, I just send him the link to this video. So the first thing we need to realize with a watch of this type is that you can't actually do anything with this watch by design unless you open one of the two covers that are on the watch. Now it has a back cover here and a front cover with the glass in. So let's just deal firstly with the back cover. Now to open the back, what we're going to do is move out the way the bow, which is this thing at the top. So we're going to turn that down by 90 degrees, and that will reveal more clearly the button that we've got on the top of the crown here. And what we're going to do with that is we're just going to push the button down, get our fingers in behind to release the catch, and open the back. Now you may find that when you push the crown down that the back just springs open, okay, or rather the button down. So that gives us access to the back. The only thing that we can do here is put power on the watch. So using the correct key, and this one takes a size 2, all we would do is go in here, locate the key onto the back there and give it a turn. Okay, in this instance it's counterclockwise. Okay, and just move that a little bit more into the sun there so you can see that. Okay, so that is what we would use the back cover for. Just to close it, we'll gently move it back into the watch and put both hands behind it like that, give it a little squeeze, and it clips in nicely. Okay, so the next thing that we might want to do is adjust the time, and we do that via the front cover here. And you'll see on the front cover we've got this handy little lip that is right here. So we're just going to come in behind that with our thumb, and there's no button, you just give it a little bit of encouragement and it will open. So that gives us access to the dial. Now if we just angle the watch there slightly, and maybe if it will focus for us, bring it in, you will see that just proud, actually it's shown there quite nicely in the sunlight, just proud of the minute hand, you will see that there's a square piece of metal there, and that is what locates with the key. So all we're going to do to change the time on this watch, and it's just lost its focus for a second, all we're going to do to change the time is literally do it with the key. And I'll just see if I can do that and show you through the dial here now. So just going to come in there like so, move that into the center and it will focus a little bit better, and place the key on the center there, and then once it needs to be perpendicular, but you can see there that once I start to turn it that I have control of the second hand, and that is how you alter the time on the watch. I recommend that you always use the key rather than your finger, because over time you will put pressure because of the torque you're applying and bend the hand, which is not a good idea. Clearly you only need to move the minute hand and you'll turn it round, and as you turn it round the hour hand will move accordingly. Okay, so those are the major things that the user would do really on well, he would wind the watch, or he or she would wind the watch most days, but maybe need to set the hands because of the watch either losing or gaining a little bit of time. If however you need to get in and change the regulation of the watch. That is a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to show you how to do that now. And so to change the regulation of the watch, we need to release the movement on its hinge from the case. And we do that using this catch that you can see here at the bottom. Okay, so that catch pushes in towards the center of the dial, and then you have to lift it up to move the dial down on its hinge, and the hinge is at the top here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we can use gravity to help us a little bit with this, because clearly the weight of the movement will move down on the hinge and we won't have to lift it. So what I'm going to do is just literally move the watch so that it is more upside down, like that. You can see the little catch that we've got here. And what I'm going to do, a little bit tricky when you're filming it, but I'm just going to come in here now, even with gloves on, and do this. So we just get our finger behind the catch there, and we give it a little bit of a push. I don't really recommend, unless you're used to this, doing it with gloves on, but as you can see, and let the movement flop out like that. Okay, and then you can see that what we have exposed here is the dust cover, but quite cleverly, when they've created this, they've made the regulator assembly here stand proud and outside of the dust cover, so that you can come in here and change the regulation of the watch. So currently it's set to, because the watch was obviously running a little bit slowly, so it's been pushed towards the fast here. But by moving it between fast and slow, and then checking the time every so often, you can manipulate the regulation of the watch. Now, of course, if it goes beyond the fast point and the watch is still too slow, then that is an issue that you're going to have to send the watch to a watchmaker to resolve, because he's going to have to change some stuff on the balance to resolve that issue. So finally, there is one last level of detail that we can go to, and I'm just going to go to that now for completeness sake, and that is the removal of the dust cover to expose the movement. In normal operation, you shouldn't really do this, because we don't want the movement to get dust and dirt into it. That's why the Victorian guys that created these watches provisioned a dust cover. But just to show you how that's done, you can see here that we've got a little release catch on here, and this is the retention mechanism for the dust cover. Now, helpfully, at this point here, there is a little pin that you can get your finger behind, and what you want to do is just push that back like that. Once that's pushed back, you'll see that whole thing remove, and essentially you can now pull it clear of the pins here. So I'm just going to do that now and just get my hands around it. And you just need to get your fingers either side of it, and off it comes. And there we have the movement. Okay, just dropping the dust cover there on the desk. And that's very pretty. So there is the movement. Really, the only people that should need to do this is a watchmaker. But you might want to show somebody just how pretty the movement is on your pocket watch, and I don't blame you for that. So that's how you would go about it. Once you're inside here, please be very careful of everything. The hairspring is very, very delicate, and the pivots on the balance, which is moving around there, are not much wider than a human hair. So we need to be careful with this. So what we would do then is pop the cover back on. Just going to do that now. Just place that back on. Okay. Okay. And just lock that in. So with the cover now back on, just move that round into the light there. With the cover back on, we can re-fasten this down and just push that forward to do that like that. At this point, it's good just to check that the dust cover is properly located. You don't want to see any gaps along the bottom here, because that will affect the watch as you put it back together. So having got the dust cover back on, we're then just going to turn the movement like that. We should be able just to give it a little push down, just gently, everything gentle. There you go, and you hear it go in. Close the top once we've got the bow out of the way. Okay, like that. And voila. There we are. So that is the basic operation of a pocket watch, which is provisioned with a key for winding. Now it may be that the watch that you need information on is slightly different to the one in this video, because some pocket watches are wound from the top here via the crown, and some you set the time from the back with a key. If that's the case, then please have a look on my channel, because I shall be doing videos on pretty much all the common types, and when I've completed those videos I'll put them in the links at the bottom. So it shouldn't take you too long to find a watch that is pretty close to the one that you need the exact information on. So I hope this video was useful. I certainly enjoyed making it here on a lovely sunny watch bench here in Pembrokeshire in Wales in the United Kingdom, and looking forward to making more videos. I hope they're really useful to you. Please subscribe if you like watches and horology, watch reviews, because I cover all of that. Hopefully the information is useful, hopefully it's entertaining, and I look forward to making some more videos for you soon. Thanks.